Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Daniela Notten, and I'll be talking you through the ICT ins and outs in this very clip. In order to do so, I'll share my screen with you first so you can see exactly what I am doing, and you can resort to this clip anytime you like. Okay, so first of all, a warm welcome to you in this new academic year. It's bound to be an interesting one due to corona measures. What you'll have to know is that we have an online environment, and you can access this online environment via the homepage start.nhlstenden.com. So here you see the website that you need to type in, start.nhlstenden.com. And this is a screenshot of where you will end up then. This is all in Dutch. You can also click on English, which is what I'll do. And these are some of the names of everything that you can find there, but I think that it's best to just go there live and show you what kind of information you can find. So if you go to an internet browser and type in what I just mentioned, you see it pop up because I've used it before. This is what you see. And first of all, you'll have to make sure that the role that you have, that has been selected at the top. So you're an employee, or you're a teacher, or you're a student, because obviously there will be different information available. So as a student, this is what you need. You'll find questions and answers about the coronavirus. So there's updates that you will have to take care of, that you read it. But the first tile, there are various tiles here. The first tile that you need to take into account is called the electronic learning environment. And this is what will lead you to Blackboard. We call that Blackboard. It's the program called Blackboard, but it's just, this is the generic term, the ELO, elektronische leeromgeving, and it will lead you to Blackboard. There's a separate video on how to use Blackboard, so please watch that video if you would like to know where to go. Then secondly, there you can find your schedules here. And whichever tile you click first after you have started up your computer is the tile that will lead you to have to log on. So this is where you're asked to fill in your details, which I'll do right now. And if all is well, then afterwards, if you click another tile, it will have remembered your details and you don't have to do this again. So this is where you'll find your schedule. Obviously, I'm a teacher, and I also get another opportunity to show my availability as a teacher. This will not pop up in your screens, but your roster will. And if you click on this, it looks slightly different right now because there are no schedules available yet, but I can show you a few things. Normally, an entire schedule pops up here of a week or a day. And you can, this will be linked, so you see mine is actually linked to my page, but you can add another one, and then you click the plus tab, and then you can look for either the employees. So this is also where you can look for somebody else's schedule if you need a specific teacher, for example. So you can type in his or her name and see what his or her availability is. Facilities has to do with certain rooms, so which rooms are available. And with groups, this is where you need to go if you'd like to see what your schedule is of the class that you're in. So you can either press on that little arrow there, the drop-down menu, and you get an entirely long list, which is somewhat confusing. So it's probably easy to remember the code. Which is VO _ LAN, leraar Engels, _ FO. So this is the code that you need to narrow it down to the groups that go with FO, flexibel onderwijs. So try to write that code down somewhere to remember it, and after that you will get various options. So all of the ones with AN1. So if you type in AN, you get English. AN1 is everything for year 1, so for the propenduizen. Then there should also be an availability of FO Engels H. So with the H is about the hoofdfase, which is basically year 2 and 3. And then FON3 is your afstudeerfase. So that's how you can actually look up all of the schedules. So probably if I click it now, there's nothing there yet, but this is available soon. And this is where you can find your schedule. So that's this very tile. Office 365. So this is where you get to the home page of the entire Microsoft opportunities. So this is where there is a sort of a portal towards your Outlook. So your Outlook is your email, but also towards your Word online, Excel online, PowerPoint, OneDrive, which is where you can store all of your files, etc., etc. Okay, then going down slightly, this is Progress, and Progress is a program for storing our grades. So once you click that, this is what you see. It might be slightly different for you as a student. Obviously, I don't know what exactly it looks like, but I think that the dashboard on the left is something that you really need to look at carefully, and you need to select what is then applicable for you. But this is where you'll find all of your grades and whether they've been uploaded or not. Okay, going back, certain tiles I will not discuss, you just need to click them, and I think things will work out for themselves, and if not, you can always ask your questions. The intranet is an important tile. This is where the electronic learning environment is actually a place where teachers store all of their lesson materials. The intranet is more of an intranet where various groups within the NHL store their information. So it doesn't really necessarily have to do with lesson materials, but just general information that you need to know about or that you might be curious about. So clicking on that, you will see that this is the general start page of the intranet. You see the news, you see very current topics coming up. There's a very kind good morning to you. There are announcements. Some of them, they are quite applicable, and others you can slightly ignore. Here you see some of the apps or the tiles that you saw just now as well, so just quick links. But you need to just go down. There's an NHL standard event, so here you can click on a calendar for the academic year. But what is important on this intranet is when you get to this very grid, and for me it's a grid because I've selected courses already. For you, it will just probably be that very title, select your course. So you need to select a course that applies to you, and the one that applies to you is actually already on my screen, and it's this one, Teacher Education in English B, part-time, Leeuwarden. So B is your bachelor, PT is part-time, so don't click the FT, that's the full-time, and you are taking this in Leeuwarden. So you can do so by clicking this very personalized button, and once that is clicked, you get an entirely long list, which you can scroll down to find it, but you can also try to find teacher education. So if you try and type that in, teacher education in English, and you see it pops up, and all of these boxes have already been ticked for me, but you will have to tick this very one, Teacher Education in English B, part-time, Leeuwarden. And once you've done so, you can just click that very personalized button again, and then the teacher education should pop up here, so you've selected it. Once you go there, so you can then click it, and you go to the intranet page of our teacher education, and it's got loads of important information about stuff that we as teachers know less about or little about. So it's easier for you to just try and access it. This has information about your scholarships, about financing. It has the OER, which we sometimes refer to, onderwijs en examenregeling, so the official rules with regards to our teaching and with regards to our exams, etc. It's got information about the Innovation Lab. If you don't know what that is yet, just click it, just be curious. You can't wreck anything by just clicking it, so just have a look. There's schedules for the entire year, etc. So this will speak for itself. And if you scroll down, there's another link that is very important. And this is the link to the praktijkbureau. And the praktijkbureau is basically our stagebureau. So we call it praktijkbureau. So this will lead you to the intranet page for the praktijkbureau. And there are loads of buttons on here again, but if you just look carefully and closely and take your time, you will find your way around it. You'll find that there's werkplek leren voltijd. This is what we call stage, werkplek leren of WPL. And deeltijd flexibel. And obviously you are now starting the flexible course as of cohort 2017, your cohort 2020. And you can click it and it will give you loads of information about starting your internship, where to find praktijkbureau, how to contact them via mail or via phone, how to apply for an internship. So this is where you have to fill in the form. There's all kinds of handleidingen which you need to resort to before you start. So it gives you loads of information about your internship and how to apply for this. So via teacher education in English B part-time Leeuwarden. So this is the general site. If you scroll down, you can go to the praktijkbureau. Scrolling down again, you'll find at the very bottom, you'll find that link again. Basically, this is the same link, praktijkbureau VO and MBO. And another important link is the examencommissie link. So via the intranet for our teacher education English part-time Leeuwarden, you can also go to the examencommissie. You have to scroll right nearly down to the bottom and click this. And on the exam committee page, you'll find loads of information about what they actually do. You'll get important information and forms that are available that you need to fill in if you'd like to apply for certain valideringen, etc. So just know that this is where you can find it. So that is the intranet. So the intranet is an online environment, not for the teachers, but for the general organizational elements surrounding all of your studies. Going back to start.nhlstenden.com, you'll find loads more. There's student info, the student counseling offers. This is where you'll be able to make an appointment with a student counselor if you would like to talk to one. You can check their availability and make an appointment online. This is where there is a link to enroll for your exams. Mind you, usually it's about a month prior to the actual exams that you can enroll. And there's a very tight window of about 2 weeks in which you will have to enroll. Make sure that you do enroll, because not enrolling might actually mean that you're excluded from taking part in the exam. But we will bring it to your attention once enrollment has opened, but know that this is where you go. There's a link to the library. There's a link about minors. There's a link about the Participation Council, the study catalogue, the academic calendar. Just have a good look around and see what information you need, and just look carefully and closely, and you will probably find it. Another important one to round things off is the service desk. So if you click this, this is a self-service portal. And clicking this is where you can actually ask your questions and also apply for certain elements. So if you have questions about ICT, etc., you can put them forward here. What you can also do if you have questions is that you just let me open a Word document so I can type that in for you guys. You can send a mail to klantenservice@nhlstenden.com, or you can actually phone them by using this very phone number. So if there's a direct ICT problem that you would like to solve, or you'd like to speak to somebody to ask a direct question, this is where you go. Okay. So this is a very quick overview of the ICT ins and outs via the homepage start.nhlstenden.com. I hope it was clear. You can also resort to this again. It will stay online on the YouTube channel. And there's a separate clip about the electronic learning environment. So please have a look at that one if you'd like to know how to use it and how to apply it for the correct organizations and courses that apply to your studies. So let me just Stop sharing. If you have any questions, then please do make sure that you first resort to all of the information available. You ask fellow students, because usually very often you struggle with the same kinds of things, and some of you might be able to answer each other's questions. And if you really can't find it around, we're always available. So please then ask us, and hopefully we'll be able to help you forward. And sometimes even we don't know, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So hope all was clear. Good luck on your studies, and I hope to see you in real life or online soon. Bye-bye.